Now that you've had that important conversation with your partner, or if you're alone, with your grown-up children, extended family, or a good friend, about downsizing, you reach the conclusion that yes, definitely you want to move to another place, more convenient and more adequate for your new lifestyle in your retirement years. You're probably thinking of moving in 2 or 3 months, which is great. That'll give you plenty of time to organize everything without pressure and aiming at the things that you really want and hope to achieve with this move. Let's look at the reasons for downsizing. Many retirees feel that they have ended up living in a very large house, and that house was okay while the family was still together. And now they're all by themselves. The children have grown, left home. The grandchildren come to visit occasionally. Even if it is regularly, it won't be for long periods of times. And you end up having to clean, keep, maintain, repair that house that's 2/3 empty most of the time. And after the age of 65, you don't need that anymore. You need to be in a place that it's easily kept, comfortable, easily cleaned. You may have mobility problems. You might have health issues that, take away all the energy that you used to have in younger years. For some of them, it's probably the case of a 2-story house. So we're talking about stairs, steps all over the house, which might turn out to be a danger in future years. And they may have a huge garden that they used to maintain themselves, and it was lovely and beautiful while you enjoyed it and needed it, and you had the energy to keep it. Others have swimming pools, and swimming pools also are expensive to keep. There's the maintenance of equipment, checking the water, filling the pool, and cleaning it, and you end up using it no more than probably 7 or 8 weeks in the summer, and that's it. The rest of the time, the pool is sitting there. So I would advise you to grab a book, a notebook, or a piece of paper, or your diary, and write down the reasons why you want to downsize. And those decisions will make you look at the new place you want to live in a different light, because now you will know what you don't need and you don't want, and therefore what you need and want to find in the new place. And remember, you might be in your new place for a long time, any number of years. It is the place where you and your partner, or you alone, hope to live your retirement days in comfort and safety. So remember that this decision is for you only. Another thing to take into consideration is your finances. Your financial status will indicate how comfortable you can live in your new home and how much advantage do you have leaving the home you're living in. So your first decision will be either to rent out the house, to sell it, or to keep it for one of your children. And on the other hand, you will have to decide as well if you want to rent or purchase the new home you want to live in. It is a good time now to talk to either your accountant, your lawyer, financial advisor, and establish how much you want to sell your house for, how much are you ready to rent it out for, if that is the case. And then there's all the paperwork involved. And ideally, the sale of your house would be plenty for you to purchase a new home without any hassles. You will have to check that the paint is in good conditions, the carpets, the air conditioning and heating. So all these things have to be contemplated. And fortunately, by the time you choose the new home, those expenses are not there anymore. You will have some expenses, but they will be minor. And also you have to contemplate how much is the moving going to cost. So you will have the removalists, then you will have to leave the house properly clean, and hopefully it won't be detrimental to your own funds and finances. You will be able or should be able to put up with anything that's required in order to organize the finances of this move. Another thing to contemplate is location. You are now living in a house, or you have been living there for many, many years, because the house was close to the schools, very important, to your job places. Once you retire, that doesn't happen anymore. There are no children anymore. You don't have to worry about school activities of any sort. And therefore, you probably don't need to live anymore in that area. When looking at the new place you want to live in, it'll be important to decide a few things. What's more important to you? To live close to amenities? Or it may be that for you it's more important to be living closer to your children, remembering always that now your children are still young, energetic, active, and they can come to visit you. So the point of living closer to your children may not work out for you. It could be also that you want to be close to transport, be it train or bus, or accessible nice routes that you can go bike riding. So it's probably important to be accessible to transport in some way or another. It could also be that for you, it is very important due to health issues to be close to a hospital, your family doctor, your physio. You may be needing constant checkups, injections, medications. So that might be for you what is important. Another thing is socializing. It may be that for some retirees, being close to friends and places to enjoy together might be very important, and you have choices. You may decide to live close to a place in the city, and you have also community centers, which are marvelous. And that's a way to meet new people. So it all depends on what is really important to you, what sort of activities you want to have. So that is also important. One other thing we need to think about is look around your house and decide what you want to take with you to the new place. For that, of course, it is ideal to know already the place you have chosen, or at least have a very good idea of the distribution of the house inside, the size of it, the amount of closets and storage space that you have. But keep in mind that what you need, you must take with you. So that's something that is important to contemplate, because that'll take you into your next stage, which we will talk about in another video. And it should work out fine if you have taken the time to plan this carefully. And then you come to the new place. And there are quite a few things to consider. It will be smaller, hopefully. It will have a garden, why not? Some retirees I know have moved into apartments in high-rise buildings, and they find it a little bit difficult to adapt because they feel they are enclosed in the same place, and they have to get out the door, use an elevator to go downstairs and enjoy the outdoors, which is not yours anymore. And some other people have chosen to live in retirement villages, which is very convenient because they have common areas taken care of. It's not your responsibility. And you have your little house It can be a little house, it can be a medium-sized house, 2, 3 bedrooms, depending on what you want to do in it. And that is also a very convenient thing. It allows you to be, able to walk outdoors, to have a patio, to have a small garden. Other people have moved into small houses or units or flats that still have a backyard, a small garden that you can keep because you can have pot plants, and the garden work is really minimal, to the point that you will probably have the opportunity to hire a gardening service to come every 2 months to keep it tidy and nice, and you don't have to do it yourself. And the same goes for cleaning. So probably with your well-established financial plan, you may be able to hire a cleaning lady who comes probably once a week, once every 2 weeks. Your pension will probably allow for some services from the government, but they don't always work to satisfaction. And then you will have to contemplate what the new house means to you. So you need to choose the different environments in your new house. You will have to look at the new house, probably thinking of future years when things will change. We don't get any younger. You may develop mobility problems, so you will probably have to start thinking if the house will allow in the future to build a ramp to the entry of the house or from the garage to avoid steps, especially if you have to use walking aids or you have to use a wheelchair occasionally. So you will need things like handrails in the showers, in the toilets to be safe and sound, and you may need spacious toilets in order to use equipment that some people need to use. You also need to look at your safety and therefore your locks. So safety is important. Your smoke alarms working, the doors, easy to lock up and close and feel secure. And that means also that you may find in the new house some things do not fit with whatever your health condition is. So all these little things eventually will take time and money. As you move in, you will discover them, but they are minor expenses. And any other change you want to invest in the new home will be of your own choice and to accommodate your own needs and wants. If you have a storage space outside the little house, if you don't, think of where you're going to keep a few tools and equipment that you need for gardening and repotting plants. For some retirees, the time has come to downsize and move to a place that it's removed from the city, from the noise, from the hectic life that, city people live in. And they would rather move to a place that it's closer to nature, more isolated and pleasurable, surrounded by a lot of vegetation, parks, and of course parks means that you will be able to have your family outings and invite friends, and all parks have beautiful areas to use your bike, to walk the dog if you plan to have a pet. They are beautiful vegetation that you don't have to take care of. They even have barbecue areas where you can gather the family and friends for a large meal and enjoy yourselves playing games. So people are looking sometimes for nature to communicate with, to relax. And some people will prefer to live close to the ocean because they like to go swimming regularly in the ocean and walk on the beach. Others will prefer a lake or a river or a very woody area, because of the birds, because of the quietness, and the fact that you can use your bike to move about the place or walk and have neighbors not right next door, maybe removed a little bit far away, but still in the same community. So the natural environment is also very important for many people. And that is something that, again, you will have to decide on your own. You will have to choose the place according to what you want and what you need. You come first. Don't forget it.